Now, over the last 5 years, the concept of technology-driven smart city has captured the imagination of every developed economy. From mandating the construction of energy-efficient buildings to creating intelligent transport networks, cities are seeking to become smarter. Therefore, to explore the topic further on how one can build a city with systems integrated intelligently, I'd like to invite Chris Appleby, Head of Technology, Media and Telecommunications at Al-Tamimi & Company, to conduct a panel discussion.
Welcome everybody. My name is Chris Appleby. I'm the Head of Technology, Media and Telecommunications at Al-Tamimi. We're a firm of lawyers, a regional firm of lawyers based here in Dubai. Firstly, I want to thank Mr. Al-Badawi for the very kind welcome that he gave us on behalf of Mr. Al-Hamli. Thank you very much. And also to the two previous speakers, Mr. Shantanu and Mr. Chadu. Thank you very much for those. I think it set the tone for a very interesting conference. The subject of this panel discussion is how do you build a smart city? That's a very pertinent topic for Dubai. For those of you living in Dubai, you know, I'm sure, that Dubai is well down the track in being built out as a smart city, and we're going to come on to that a little later in the panel discussion. But I just want to come now to the panel members, just to give you a brief introduction to them. I'll leave it to them whether they want to more fully introduce themselves as they speak. But if I can just first introduce here Mr. Ghanem Al-Falasi, who is chairman of the Smart City Project at the Dubai Silicon Oasis Authority here in Dubai. So he's really at the coalface of a mini smart city here in Dubai. I'm going in the order of speaking, so pardon the slightly odd order, but at the end of the here we have Mr. Safdar Nazir. Safdar is a regional vice president with Huawei, also based here in Dubai. In the middle we have Jean-Luc Scherer, who is head of service line growth at Ericsson and an active blogger on smart cities, also based here in Dubai. In case you can't see him, we have here Mr. Michael, this is a chap in the red jacket here, Mr. Michael Melquin. Michael is a managing director of IS Communications based in the UK, and Michael joined us very late last night, I think. Just flown in from Atlanta, I think, from memory. Michael is basically globe-trotting and promoting the concept of smart cities around the world. And finally, we're very honoured to have Mr. Tariq Hajiri, second in from the end here. Mr. Hajiri is the Director of Legal Policy at the Dubai Economic Council, who are one of the sponsors of the event today. And he's going to bring us some insights into regulating smart cities. We're going to run the panel session a little differently than you might normally see. We've got 5 very, very different perspectives here on the stage, and we thought that rather than me just giving 1 or 2 questions and getting everybody to answer them in a fairly standard way, that I'd give each of the panel members about 5 minutes to talk about their perspective on smart cities. But before I do that, I just want to make a few introductory remarks myself, and also to identify some very key themes that we're going to keep coming back to. So as you hear each one of the speakers present in an informal way, hopefully these themes will come out. If we look at the topic of smart cities, the one thing that stands out above everything else is that it needs to be about us, it needs to be about the people, it needs to be about the citizens of the city. There is a notion that smart cities is simply an extension of the Internet of Things, and the last speaker mentioned the Internet of Things. You all know what that is. It's actually much more than that. It's not just about things and technology. It's about people and the needs of the people. I mean, just taking a simple example, some real-time data that there's a crash on Al Wasl Road is very interesting, but to me that's of no benefit unless that data is linked to where I am and how I can get out of that, go around that accident. So smart cities is about people, it's not just about technologies and things. It brings me just to my last opening comment about smart cities, and that's about Dubai's role as a smart city, and we'll hear, I think, a little more about that from Ghanem. It is an exciting time to be in Dubai. The ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed, instigated the smart city initiative some while back, and that has resulted in a very, very substantial investment, both from government and the private sector, into smart city, Dubai as a smart city. And it's of course, it's underpinned by a number of factors. One, of course, is technology, and a lot of that technology is coming from the private sector. It's closely tied in with the Dubai Smart Government Initiative, which anybody who goes through SALAC or pays their DEWA bill online will know about. It's also enabled by the carriers, the telecoms carriers, and the enhanced mobile broadband networks that are being rolled out are key to this, not just here, of course, but everywhere where smart cities are taking hold. And of course, widespread use of devices, mobile devices, key part to the smart city equation. And we're at an apps conference. Smart cities ultimately will be driven by apps, and there's a very vibrant and active app development community in the UAE, and I'm sure many of you are here today. Now, just to finalise, I mentioned a number of key themes that we're trying to tease out during this discussion. We've identified about 6 themes. The first, and I won't speak to them, I'll let the members talk to them as the discussion proceeds. The first thing is, what is a smart city? Second theme, different cities, different priorities. Clearly, sitting here in Dubai, the priorities for us, the people who live here, I think are going to be very different from the citizens of, say, Amsterdam or Vienna or London or Sao Paulo. So different cities, different priorities. We're also looking for some insights into the development of apps for smart cities. We're going to be touching on global standards, the fourth thing, and we're going to be talking about regulating smart cities, and I think Tariq will have some points to make about regulating smart cities. And I think the final one, which I've already touched on, is people are at the centre of smart cities. Now, we're not limiting ourselves to those themes, but those are the 6 kind of key things that we've identified talking amongst each other over the last few days that we want to draw out. So if I can just invite Mr. Al-Falasi, who's just Vice Chairman of the Smart City Committee at Dubai Silicon Oasis, perhaps to share some of your thoughts about smart cities. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. It's really my pleasure, and I'm very proud to be with you here, especially between the panelists here also. That's a great pleasure for me. I am the consumer, so I have to share with you my experience about Smart City. It's a young experience. We just started, a year only, and it is really, we are defining or scratching the ABC of Smart City in Dubai. We are, just to introduce myself, my name is Ghanem Al-Falasi. I am the SVP for Corporate Services and the Vice Chairman of the Smart City Committee. We took it seriously and immediately there. And the first project we started was really to make the Silicon Oasis, which is a free zone, a technology hub. And it's really the environment, which is a city within a city, that can be a demo for all the cities around us. So we are building a test bed for anybody to try their technology for smart city within a small area, before launching it to the bigger area. So that's the whole concept about our slogan. We are already smart, all of us here, but we are getting smarter. So not to really go from scratch. It's really we are building up on so many things. So many years we've been talking about sustainability, efficiency, and all this. So that's really a continuation of what we've been doing, but it's in a consolidated way. So that's what we are really after that. So the ABC is really the vision of Sheikh Mohammed. The CEO gave us the instruction to create that committee, the Smart City Committee. And from there, we started really gathering that we need to start from top-down strategy, and also we created some initiative bottom-up. So you have to do it always like that. And also, because we are a silicon oasis and we have a lot of vendors around us, so we created also an advisory board to help us, and we have very known companies there also in the silicon oasis who really give us their advices and way forward with this strategy. So we drafted the vision and the mission and our values, and the main thing is about our values is really, the vision is about creating a happy, smart community. So since we are a city within a city, we have the residential, the schools, the hospital, and the offices, so it's all combined, which enable us to test the smart city concept here in a smaller scale. And that led us really to build more alliances with also governmental department, which is the next step that we think is essential for us, that we build the alliances of all the government departments to work with us and really define the need for them in the city, and then they will take it abroad also. So it's moving on with that concept also. Alhamdulillah, we are in a good relation, and in GITEX we are announcing a lot of collaboration happening also. So things are moving gradually because we all share the same vision of Sheikh Mohammed. And to build on that one also, I started by making the first initiative from GITEX last year, that the whole DSO became a free Wi-Fi free zone, the first free zone in the world to be free Wi-Fi. So now the question is why we started that one. We just could not see what is really the prerequisite for smart city. We just launched the infrastructure to start with, and then we can build on it really, the Internet of Things, machine to machine and all that. So we just expedite things by laying the free Wi-Fi to enable people to use and enable people to deliver ideas and thinking over the free Wi-Fi that is available for them there.
Ghanem, can you perhaps just tell us a little bit about some of the apps that have been developed within DSOA?
Well, currently, I mean, that's my challenge here. We are yet in that stage of really, the project was closed by June, so the Wi-Fi is there. We are working now into certain projects like trash dispenser that is efficient, so the app can generate clear information, communicating with the trash dispenser there in the rotation. We're looking into monitoring the parking areas, and so we have a smart bus station that we are working with TRA now. We are working with also DIWA regarding the grid and how we can feed the grid. And also, I need to mention that we are working on the major project, which is the Silicon Park, which is a city within a city also, and it's around 1 kilometer square of an infrastructure that will be 1.1 billion. The dilemma here is we're creating a project that will cost us 600 million only. The 500 million is all about smart solution. And the infrastructure is yet to come. We don't know what type of infrastructure. That's why we're hiring, we are looking for consultant to advise us on the futuristic infrastructure. So that will be the real demo of a smart city in DSO. And as I said, we are already in cooperation with all the stakeholders who will be inputting their solution there also.
Thank you, Ghanem.
Yeah.
We'll come back to some of those things. I think, Safta, would you like to pick up
Sure.
on some of those things?
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, Ghanem and I were exchanging ideas a couple of days ago about smart cities. And I think it's good to say we had some good alignment in our thinking. So when we talk about smart cities, maybe we should first understand cities and why people move to cities in the first place. And in general, throughout history, it's been about a perceived improvement in quality of life by being in a city. And that has some foundational pillars to it. It could be about security, it could be about prosperity, it could be about a number of things. But people tend to move to cities and urbanize for a perceived improvement in quality of life. So now if we talk about, well, what is a smart city? Well, that's something that's relative. And it's relative to what you've already experienced. Well, who doesn't have a smartphone in this room? Well, no one's brave enough to say that they don't have a smartphone. Right? But whatever phone you have today, even if it's the Huawei P7 that I'm carrying, which just launched, or the Apple iPhone 6, in 10 years from now, you will not consider that probably as a smartphone. But if I take your phone from 10 years ago and gave it to someone who never had a mobile phone, they'd think it's pretty cool because now I can speak to anyone wherever I go and I can get these SMS things, right? And the battery lasts for 2 weeks, probably, right? So it's relative to what you've experienced before. So in that sense, if we went to a village or a town in some rural place in Africa or somewhere like that, and you provided tap water, clean tap water, electricity, a landline phone, that may well be considered a smart city if you don't have that before.